All right, boys, there's no time to explain. I'm gonna need everyone who watches this video to like, comment, and subscribe, or I'm gonna come kick your grandma in the ovaries. All right, let's do this. Bye. How's it going, everybody? It's Xerxes. No, Xerxes? I haven't, bro. I changed my YouTube channel. Jesus Christ. How's it going, everybody? It's Clay here. Today, we got a very dark video about Custodians. They are failing. I am so happy that no one has been buying this dog crap. It is absolutely asinine that they truly believe that the true fans of Warhammer will just sit there and let you just retroactively say, oh, Custodians have always been female since the beginning. Like, bro, there is no way that you're gonna sit there and straight up lie to these people who have spent quite literally 20 to 30 plus years of their life dedicated to this series, to this fandom. So it's just absolutely crazy that they even done this crap, and I'm so happy to see that it's actually finally failing, and that maybe, just maybe, they'll stop with this whole woke interaction bullshit. But anyway, let's get to this Vera video. If you like what you're seeing here, you make sure to comment and subscribe. Make sure to go to her video as well. Give a like to her, subscribe to her video. After all, we're doing a reaction to this, and I don't want to get in trouble. All right, let's do this.
A company decides to ditch existing lore in order to chase a new modern audience and change their brand image, it generally goes terribly for them. And back in January, we saw how deep into the DEI trenches Warhammer and Games Workshop was really going. The female...
They went deep into the trenches, and they should not have, bro. They did not need to do it. They dug so deep that I don't think they're gonna get themselves out. No, you know what? No, I lied. Warhammer fans are willing to burn their life spendings on this series for as long as GW gives them what they want. So they probably actually could dig themselves out of this trench, but they're gonna have to really give the fans what they fucking want.
Adeptus Custodi retcon infuriated hundreds of thousands to millions of fans on social media, and now that we finally have pre-orders up and we have these purchases up, my gosh, we finally have the full picture of how terribly this is actually going for them. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, we all knew that this was going to be an extremely controversial choice for them, and they decided to make it, and so that means they deserve the backlash that they are facing. They deserve the criticisms that are being levied towards them. Now, I had talked about this when it had happened, and I also had talked about it last year when we started really getting this news and seeing what was actually happening with Games Workshop. Nobody would want men in the Sisters of Silence, so nobody...
Bro, facts! That's fact. I haven't heard a single Warhammer fan actually be like, oh, we should add men to the Sisters of Silence. We should add men to the Sororita Sisters. No! That's not how that works. They are perfect as they are. What is wrong with you? So why would you do it to the Custodians, man? And guess what? By the way, I just want to clarify this, right? My own thought process on this. If the female Custodians actually have been a success, I guarantee you Space Marines would have been next. I mean, hell, Space Marines still might be next on the chopping block to be added to the Ruination. But I guarantee you that if it was 100% a success, we would probably be hearing about female Space Marines like already. Absolutely crazy.
They should want females as Adeptus Custodes, but here we are in the year 2026. So a few months ago, when the official Warhammer YouTube account had revealed the year preview
look at that ratio. Damn.
It went over pretty terribly for them. 114,000 views on an account with 1 million subscribers. Not a good look. It got
not at all.
2.7k likes to 14,000 dislikes. That is a hefty chunk of change, and the comments are brutal. The like rate is at 2.7k upvotes and 14k downvotes. LOL.
Yeah.
Trash. No one asked for this.
Heresy,
Someone forgot to close the comments. You guys do plan on actually writing why women...
I love this. I love this. Not canon. All right, beside me.
Custodians now, right? Because an always has been answer is lazy. And
it is.
They linked to the community articles, which basically just says, yeah, because we can, which is a bad
That's
look. In
so
short,
that's so
there are
dumb.
some people in this
Oh
comment
my God.
section who are saying, oh, you guys are just complaining.
Bro, those people those are bots. Those are bots. Those are shills. Those are people whose minds are just blank canvases and they never had a single thought in their life. That's what those people are. Okay, we ignore those. All right, those people, they're not even people. All right, the fact that they're things. All right, that's all. That we ignore those things. Okay, that's all we do.
And
God damn, I
moaning
hate
and
them.
groaning, and you don't care about Warhammer at all. And you guys should spend more time painting your armies instead of crying about the Custodians. But really, it just looks
Why not do both? Custodes dos. Just do both.
pathetic because you are so mad that people are criticizing this move that you're just instead saying, oh, you're incels, you're losers, you're lazy,
I'm a proud
you
incel.
don't actually
I'm a proud
care, you're
chud.
not passionate about this hobby.
That was a
when
joke,
clearly
by the way.
people are
Just for
clearly
those who don't
people
understand
that
jokes.
are complaining and that are criticizing and that are voicing their distaste for this on social media are doing it because they just want Warhammer to stay Warhammer and not become infected like so many established video game series and even
Facts.
tabletop games have
Yeah.
become. Magic the Gathering was the first to become infected, and they are still basically the worst to this day.
I've never got into Magic the Gathering, but I've had friends who did get into Magic the Gathering, and they have told me the monstrosities that they've added. Same thing with D&D. I myself have never got into D&D, but I have friends who have, and they explained that they have done a lot of terrible stuff.
They put an agenda first, and they have an echo chamber internally. You cannot get hired
Blue
at
Sky?
WotC if you are someone who is critical of DEI and ESG, and you are not somebody who wants to put pronouns in your bio and change your profile picture to a rainbow flag come the gay month.
Facts.
And now
'Cause there's
we
no
have
point.
this sort of overlook at the situation they are now facing. Let's wrap up the failure of the new Custodies release. Marshall Bahemond had posted this over on
Agreed.
X.
100%
Custodies
agreed.
trailer for 10th edition nearly 2 years ago had 4.6k likes versus 17,000 dislikes.
Get this man the
Custodies
truth.
trailer for Horus Heresy 3rd edition 2 months ago had 2.7k likes versus 14,000 dislikes. As of this posting, 10 days after the Custodies Battle Box went on sale, it has not sold out on the Games Workshop website in the US and several other markets. And you might be saying to yourself, oh, you might go to an LGS, you might support your local game store, and that's how you get your product. But if your LGS is getting shorted and they can't get the product, then you have to buy directly from Games Workshop. And this
Yep.
has been an issue for a very long time. So I have worked in and out of the local game store scene for about a decade now, and what is crazy is that it used to be a situation where you would talk to the distributor, you would say, oh, how many copies of something can I get? They would give you a number, and then you would go back to them and say, okay, I want X amount. There would be, let's say, tiers of, well, your store is tier 3, so you can get 100 boxes of something, let's say, for argument's sake, and you can say,
Okay.
well, I only want 75, or I want 50, or I want the full allotment, and then they would send it to you, you'd get the invoice, you'd pay it, and all of that jazz. Now we have ran into the problem where these companies want to go direct to customer, which makes sense. They make the most amount of money, they
Yeah.
can sell it as quickly as
Does
they
make
want,
sense,
and
yeah.
they can also hide numbers if things are not going so well. You can't control a local
Oh.
game store. If a
Yeah.
local game store keeps something on a shelf for 6 months, it is collecting dust.
Oh.
You can't just
You
put
can't
that in the back
hide
of your
that.
warehouse
Oh, you
and
have
set
to-
it and
oh,
forget
I
it and
see.
claim, oh my gosh, it sold out and it did so good.
No, it
And
didn't.
so they want to be able to control the narrative
Oh,
surrounding
damn.
their product, and they want to be able to really make as much money as possible, which does make sense for a company, but it doesn't look good because that means that these companies and these distributors really do not want not to deal with local game stores anymore, and that means you as the customer suffer. It's like how companies now don't want to go to the Game Awards and give $1 million for their trailer to be shown when they could just upload their trailer on YouTube and X and go direct to customer.
Yeah,
of course that's what
it's
they
better,
want to do.
cheaper, you save money, it's more convenient.
Because
Yeah,
they want to go direct to customer digitally, and it makes it that much easier.
I kind of wish they still continue making physical copies of games, because especially for people who do collectible type stuff, for situations like that, those are the reasons. Like, how should I put it? Like, if you had a PlayStation 2 and you wanted to play the original, like Jack and Dexter or something like that, it's one of those things where it's like, as time goes on, you won't be able to play games that you have. Like, what's a good game that's out like recently? I've been playing Path of Exiles 2 lately. So Path of Exiles 2 obviously doesn't have a hard copy or anything like that. And so in the future, I don't know, like 20 years from now, when the game is officially fully dead and I just happen to want to play it again, servers aren't going to be up, I know, but let's just say I'm able to play it again. I wanted to play it again because there's no hard copy, and let's just say maybe I don't have the account no more. I can't or to save the drive cloud or whatever, it gets corrupted or some crap like that. I won't be able to play that game now that I had, because it's just gone now. Unlike a physical copy, I'd be able to have it on me forever. Or if you were, again, a collector, you want to have it to like in the future or something like that. For those reasons, I think physical copies were good, but I understand why they stopped, because we are moving towards a digital age. I kind of went a little tangent right there.
So yeah, we're seeing that happening now, and local game stores and customers are the ones that are paying the price, because they know things aren't going to go over particularly well, and so they don't want to send out as many copies as maybe they would have anticipated. And now we're seeing the Games Workshop is shorting the production of boxes because they know that this isn't going to go over super well for them. There are tons of local games.
You know what they're going to have to do? They're going to have to take all these models that don't get sold, and they're gonna have to go, where is it? Is it New Mexico, Nevada? I don't know, some desert in one of those deserts that where they buried the ET where they buried the ET game, that trash ass game. That's where they're gonna have to put these female custodians, right there somewhere in the desert, and bury them so they'll never be seen again.
Game stores that are posting about the situation, saying unfortunately the rumors are true. Despite getting confirmation of our pre-orders, we got a call on Monday saying we will be getting 0 Custodes battle groups. The only explanation we were given is that there was a logistical error. They offered no timetable.
Logistical error means no one wanted that trash. That's what that means.
As to when the product would be available. We will be keeping the list of people who pre-ordered this from us, and assuming we eventually get the product, we'll honor those pre-orders. Here's another. We got a phone call today from Games Workshop that they had a logistical error. Instead of receiving all of the...
For those who weren't here earlier, no one wanted that trash, is what logistical error means.
Custody battle group boxes that we ordered and received confirmation numbers for, we're instead going to receive a grand total of 0 of these boxes. All of the other items for the weekend are shipping like normal. They had no real explanation of why, said it's affecting hundreds of other stores and that there's no way to get any more of these boxes. They're working on the error on their end and said that it won't happen again. I fought them on it, escalated it to the higher ups, and at the end of the day, we're just getting screwed. Yeah, this sucks for the stores. This sucks.
The stores are just getting screwed.
Customers. This is just a very terrible situation all around. And well, a lot of gamers are just saying
Chud, stay winning his ass on it, made me laugh.
Yeah, I think that this was happening intentionally based on the backlash. I alienated half my customers so you could have female space marines. My queen.
Facts.
I've not bought a thing from them since they doubled down on the Custodes. All they had to do was introduce more Sisters of Silence models and units, and I would be happy to buy the set. I like the models, but I will not be.
So, hold on, let's first listen.
Space freaks. They knew Custodes would be a disaster, and yet they carried on. Morons.
So, you know, I'm gonna pick my quick opinion on the Custodes, right? I actually don't necessarily have a problem with them introducing a female custodian. Here's where I do have the problem, from them saying there have always been female custodians. Now, if they wanted to say, I don't know, they needed extra warriors, because a lot of custodians were killed, and they just grabbed as many children as they did. Some happened to be female or whatever. A few random females survived. They beat the odds. And it was more of a recent thing. If they would have to do the story more properly and gave us, that's not a bullshit answer for me to accept it. But again, that's just trying to have an open heart here. You know, trying to be more open, because I understand in lore, there's nothing that necessarily states that there can't be female custodians. If I remember correctly, it says that sons and nephews of the Imperium are chosen, if I remember correctly, but that doesn't necessarily imply that there can't be daughters and nieces chosen. So I'm being a little open-minded on that, but I understand why still people are aggravated with it. I understand why that people are annoyed with how they're doing it, because it's stupid how they did it. They said, oh, there's always been a female. No, fuck no, you're dumb. But and also I understand that technically there shouldn't be. But my thought process is this: if the Space Marine transformation process is so bad that the female body can't handle it, wouldn't the custodian process be worse? So there wouldn't it just automatically be like, well, if the females can't go through the Space Marine process, then the custodian process should be even worse, right? So I don't know. Maybe that's just me thinking. Maybe I don't know much. I don't know. I'm just the guy on YouTube speaking my mind. But let's see the video.
To see it, F Games Workshop, F the Femstodes, and F every single shit lib and female who slithered into the leadership of Games Workshop and destroyed one of the most beloved wargaming franchises of all time. And what sucks about the situation is it is 100% correct. There have always been women in the video game industry, and so many passionate women in video games and the TTRPG scene and entertainment in general.
Bayonetta creator, oh my god, such a good game.
But there are then going to be those liberal women who infect this space not because they care about the hobby, but because they view it as a way to make money, the same way Anita Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn did during Gamergate 1. They never gave a fuck about this space. And so the women who are passionate and who are good also pay the price.
Yeah, the women who do care, the women who do love gaming, the women who do love the lore, the women who do respect the art that was made, now they're catching heat too off of the other women who are just trying to ruin the shit for their female power. Yay, girl power, girls get it done. It's like, no, bro, like I feel bad for those girls who do understand it. I had a couple of female gamer friends who they understand lore. Hell, some of them are fucking better at certain games than me. I'd be like, god damn, girl, you go crazy. But it's still the situation of, it's like, now they catch hate, they catch flack, all because of these goddamn woke liberals, bro. It's absolutely insane.
Because nobody trusts them, and why would you? It sucks. Just as God Emperor Henry Cavill would have wanted. Happy to see some great news. Keep pushing, kill woke.
Henry Cavill as the God Emperor. I like Henry Cavill a lot, but if anything, I see him as a Gilliman or Constantine Valdor. Me personally, since he likes Custodians, I want to see him as Constantine Valdor. That's just me personally. But most likely, they're probably going to have him, if the show actually does come out, they're probably going to have him be an Inquisitor, most likely, because I just don't imagine them adding Space Marines or Custodians in the show. I just don't see it right now, personally.
And we don't know what the pre-order numbers were for a lot of these stores. Maybe they only were getting a few copies and they have die-hard Warhammer fans who are buying them. Maybe they planned for massive allotment numbers and now they're not getting them. And
I imagine there's a warehouse that they have a crap ton of these boxes filled with these female Custodians, because they thought they were going to sell millions and probably only sold like 10. That's tough.
Maybe this would have technically sold well, but this just doesn't sound like the case, and it sounds like everything surrounding this is a disaster, from the
big time
reaction to the sales, and now of course we have stores not getting any copies. And You would think for such a controversial time for them, they would want to do their best job possible when it comes to keeping the few customers they have left happy, but that isn't the case given their—
Bro, that feels like a lot of series for Star Wars, fucking Warhammer, so many series that I feel like they just don't want to keep the customer happy no more. Doctor Who, it's just they just ruined so much crap. It's like, why do you just keep ruining shit, bro? No one wants to watch this track. All these series, these fandoms, they're just dying because of this, man. It's absolutely insane. Ugh.
Screwing so many of them over. So I'll be following the situation pretty closely, but local game stores are getting screwed over, fans are getting screwed over, Games Workshop is facing a lot of backlash, and all I can really say is it is what it is. But that's all that I had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.
Bro, that's absolutely right. Pop. Bro. Hey, I paused, bro. I'm clicking pause. God damn, bro. I'm not trying to add glitchy arm Wade and Williams. I was gonna react to that video. I don't know. I was going to. It's one. I don't know. Should we give a surprise video at the end? You guys want to do a surprise video for those who are watching? You know what? This is a surprise video for those who are watching towards the end. Let's click here and enjoy. No, I'm kidding. No, that's too much. You're not doing that. You're not doing that. Let's go back. Go back. No. Okay.
Whenever
go back. Make sure to, again, just like earlier, make sure you go subscribe to Very Dark's channel. Make sure to go give a like to this video as well, because this was absolutely such a good video. Because man, I'm so happy to see that the Custodians are failing, or at least the female Custodians are failing. Not the Custodians. I don't want the Custodians to fail. Praise the God Emperor. But I'm so happy that at least the female Custodians is failing, because they don't need to change this crap. Because guess what? If they were to continue down this path, the Emperor will be a transgendered black woman with a septum piercing, saying that everyone needs to change their sexual identity for the fate of the universe or some crap. But thankfully that won't be the case. Hopefully that won't be the case. I pray. And if that is the case, and you know what, let's just all convert to chaos and just let the chaos gods take it over. Let's just let it all burn for all I care about. But anyway, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace. I got a cock in my